Hello, this is Sashiko Live Streaming in English on January 24th. This is Atsushi, and thank you so much for watching. And I will do the live streaming in English. So you can leave the comment in the other languages, but I might not be able to translate. Might switch the language. I may speak some Japanese in between, but I will try. I will try my best to speak only English for probably 30 minutes, maybe more than 30 minutes. But if you could stick with me, that'd be great. So this is Sashiko Live Stitching, and I will answer some questions that I got from the previous stitching work live streaming. Sashiko. It's January 24th. Alright. Today's stitching is quite interesting because until this much stitching, I hope you can take a look at it. Until this much stitching, it's kind of, I wouldn't say boring, but it's not as exciting as finishing the pattern. But after this much process, I sometimes call it fourth step. The fourth step of this pattern is to actually visualize the Asano pattern. So it's kind of fun part to do. So I will do that. Sorry I missed you closing. I'm sorry that too. I believe that got sold out pretty quickly. I believe there's like a waiting list or something for that. I cannot control it at all. I don't really know any of admin stuff, but I hope you can join at some point somewhere. Okay. So the question was, wait just a second. I got a lot of questions about the loops on the back of side of the fabric, and as I said in the previous live streaming, I answered that question already several times on my YouTube as well as my website. So for that answer, oh, you'll be in Thailand? Oh, well, that's a good thing. Enjoy the Thailand. I'm jealous. I am jealous. Thailand is good. So for the answer of the loop of the back side of the Sashiko stitching, please check the YouTube or my website. You can just Google Y loop on my website, upcyclestitches.com. Then you probably get the answer right away. The other question was good. I probably answered somewhere, but I don't remember it, so I will answer that right now. The question was, is this Sashiko, like, let's say that I leave some of the loop here like this, or even like a stitches will make the experience of wearing bad? I'm not speaking English now. Just let me rephrase that. Does these stitches affect the wearing experience of denim or the pants? Does these stitches will make it uncomfortable to wear the denim? I think that was the question I received. The question is no. The answer is no. The stitches will not make your swearing, you're not swearing. The stitches will not make the experience bad. It's not gonna make it uncomfortable. It's not gonna make it bad. It's not gonna make it uncomfortable at all. It's not gonna be unnatural neither. I can say that because I've been doing that for 5 years, and I have done this stitching for some people, and they never gave me a bad review about the uncomfortableness. No bad reviews for that matter at all. But it's not gonna make it uncomfortable at all. The reason is, though, there is a big reason. I'm not gonna say you can do stitching and you can feel comfortable all the time. No, I'm not gonna say that. There is a reason. It is okay to do that. The reason is the thread. I keep saying everywhere, but the thread does matter in Sashiko stitching. Some of the Sashiko stitching or Sashiko concept might be the recycling or upcycling, so you may understand, you may have heard that you can use any kind of thread for the, to save some money. It is, you can of course use whatever you have. There's no problem of using any kind of fabric with thread. But if you are gonna do the Sashiko stitching, Sashiko as we do it, the thread does matter. So please make sure that you use the thread we recommend. And by using the thread we recommend, I believe the experience of, I can say that the denim inside or inside of the pants will not be uncomfortable to wear. There's explanation for that too. Usually the purpose of the thread is to bind two fabrics, right? That's how it's supposed to, that's how the thread is supposed to be. There's two fabrics like this, and the whole point of the thread is to bind or to connect or to stitch together two fabrics or several fabrics. That's the whole purpose of the regular thread. However, oh, Sakura. Sorry, she's here. Seriously? Okay. ここ来るの？ここ来る？いいけど。おいでよ。The purpose of Sashiko thread is not that. Of course, the Sashiko thread can bind two fabrics together, but that is not the purpose. That's not the main purpose of Sashiko thread. The main purpose of the Sashiko thread is to become a part, become a part of the fabric. So over the time of stitching, the fabric becomes much softer in that sense. It's gonna be softer, but at the same time it becomes a part of the fabric, so you feel like as if there's nothing extra, nothing unusual on that. That's the reason the Sashiko stitching inside of the denim will not feel uncomfortable. Yeah, it's not gonna feel uncomfortable because of that reason. Only one exception though is this one. Sakura, I'll show you. If you see that, I mean, how can I turn this? I'm sorry, just a second, okay? This one, right? This one. Sakura. I have a cat. Cat is a very bad idea to have in the Sashiko project because of the nail. Cat's nail can kind of pick up those stitches. Let's say I wear the pants, I wear the denim, and those stitches will not come out if the stitcher follow the technique or some principle of Sashiko stitching that we share. It's not gonna come out. No matter how much you use it, it won't come off. But the only exception is the cat. The cat nail is pretty sharp for that matter, so if she kind of picks up that, the thread will come off. That's the only one exception. Other than that, the Sashiko thread is designed for the Sashiko stitching, and therefore it is very good for wearing, using, and it's not for the decoration, to be honest. It is good. Sashiko can be very good for decoration purpose, but at the same time, it is for the using too, right? So, if there's any uncomfortableness of wearing or using the Sashiko stitched item, that's not doing the job of thread. So please try to do this. Well, I'll just show you that. So this is the Sashiko thread we use. And it's quite like, look at it. It's a quite big skein. It is about 145 meter. and it has a very, very unique twist. Many people talk about the thickness of thread for Sashiko. Thickness can be, we use only one thickness, but thickness is not that important. The important part of the thread is the twist. What kind of twist this thread has. There are a lot of ways to twist the thread, but we trust this twist, and then we've been using it for like more than 30 years. And that's pretty much the trick. I don't have a specific technique to make it Sashiko more comfortable. It is just the thread. Well, that's kind of sad to say that. I wish I could have some technique to teach you that it can be more comfortable, but it's pretty much the thread. And there are a few other thread I recommend in different thickness, but as of now, as of 2020, I recommend one type of thread in many colors. Colors is not the problem either. You can use any kind of colors, but again, thread matters. If you feel that your Sashiko stitching is not that good or it's not that comfortable, blah blah blah, there's many reasons that it might not be right, but always I recommend, like, are you using the right thread? Not a right thread. Are you using the thread you wanted? Second thing is the needle. Then skill. Then, only then. The fabric doesn't care. Doesn't care is the bad idea. Fabric doesn't matter. Any kind of fabric is good unless it's not stretchy or it's not like it's as long as it's stitchable. Fabric can be anything. Of course, there's a good fabric to stitch. There's a good fabric for Sashiko stitching, but fabric can be anything. It's really up to the preference. I prefer the non-stretchy fabric. I prefer the Japanese woven fabric, but those are more like preference. But thread and needles, those are, well, thimble. Thimble is must. That's the kind of, not even a preference. You have to have the thimble for that, for this, the Sashiko stitching I share. And then thread and needle. Those are the very, very, very important investment. And plus, it's not that. Like, some people say the Sashiko threads are so expensive. I don't know. I don't know about that. Well, it is not cheap. Like, you can get those embroidery frosts for $1 or so from the Walmart or somewhere. In comparison to that, yes, it is, expensive. But this is big skein. And in comparison to the other small skeins for Sashiko thread, it's not that expensive. I mean, I think it's pretty fair for that matter. Anyway, that was the question. That was the answer to the question. The question was about the loop, which I answered already on the YouTube or my website, and then the other question was, is the fabric, the denim inside of the denim, uncomfortable or not? The question is, it's not uncomfortable. It's comfortable even after stitching and the loops. All right. I hope I answered the question. I'm open to the other questions, unless I don't have to stop stitching, or it doesn't require some like demonstration. So I live in central Pennsylvania right now. And today was a kind of big day for me because there's like an outlet shop nearby my house, nearby our city, and they had an annual sales of 20% off. And I usually say, like, I don't want to follow the trend, I don't want to do lag, but again, 20% on the groceries are kind of big. It's pretty significant. So I went there. It was very bad idea to go there. It was a very bad idea. So many lines, so many people. Not even a shopping cart. Like, you had to wait to get a shopping cart. in this freezing weather. Yeah. But again, I used to be a stay-at-home dad for 2 years, like full-time stay-at-home dad. Now I kind of work part-time here and there, and then do Sashiko. So it's good to be a smart shopper for that. Not a smart. I don't want to say stingy, but it's good to be stingy. If there's a way to save money, that's always a good idea to do it. $20 is good, right? Like 20% is a lot. I don't think I can offer 20% off on my website. Yeah, no. So I try to do the Sashiko Live stitching in both language on Tuesday and Friday, and usually Japanese first, then switch to the English later on. Like today, I started the Japanese live streaming hour and a half ago or 2 hours ago, and then I'm doing the English right now. I used to try to find an on-time slot for the on-time slot. That's another word. I'm so confused. Why do they have to put those two words so close and one is so bad? Anyway, time slot for that. So if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer that. English is so difficult. Frog, there's another way to say frog, right? I cannot say that word because for some reason I cannot pronounce it well. My daughter said, like, Daddy, that's not good. Like, I didn't mean to say that word, but I said it because I couldn't say that. I cannot pronounce that word. T-O-R-D? I cannot say that word. Frog is fine, but the other one is pretty scary. I spoke a lot in Japan. So I usually set up the time around this time, and then I used to think of the other time frame, like Wednesday at night, or I tried, but at the same time, it was very difficult for me to keep talking at night in my time, as well as just keep talking without any topics. So in the morning, I will try to come up with some topics to talk about, as well as answering the question. But usually your question will help me to keep going. Like participation would be nice. And other than that, I have to find some topic to talk about. And today's topic is already done, about comfortableness of Sashiko stitching, and it is comfortable. So it'd be great to have some of the stimulation. Nuketa. So what I was doing right now is the kind of filling the gap. I'll show you that. So this is kind of incomplete. This is more like incomplete. If you go down, it is complete. Kind of. It's not significant until I do more. Hi. Hi. My hand is so cold. Come on. Sakura. Nani? Sorry, my cats are kind of screaming today for some reason. I got a lot of things to do for this weekend. I cannot believe it's already Friday. I have a workshop in my house this coming Monday. Oh my god, 2 days from now. And my house is... the area I will use for the workshop is quite messy. I mean, this is the end of the... This was the end of the year, so I did the inventory, and the inventory is not a fun thing to do. So it's a lot of mess. There's a lot of mess. I don't want to do this anymore. The stitching I'm doing right now is called kasane. It's the overlay stitching to make it like a knot, and I teach that what it means on the YouTube. But I'm not a big fan of this step, so it's kind of... I'm getting like I'm getting very demotivated. It's not the best. It's not fun. It's not as... It is very rewarding to see the pattern coming out, but at the same time it's kind of boring to do it. So I'd rather do the running stitch rather than this kind of kasane. Wait. Well. Again, like sometimes we have to do things that we don't like too, so this is one of those. Oh, it's pure question. Like, it's pure question from me. So I have a dream that I would like to have a studio for myself. Again, this is my house it's not that big. It's a bi-level house. I have like a little space down, like half basement for my Sashiko stitching, and it's pretty messy. There's not that much workspace to do, and it is my goal to have the studio, like studio to make some Sashiko stitching as well as filming and stuff like that. Many artists have their own studio. Even like craftsmen have their own space. I don't know how they do that. Like, how can they afford it? Like, the crafting itself doesn't make a lot of money. And I try to find some space, but it's not that cheap. So I don't want to do like money-oriented activities because of the space I have to rent. I can do what I'm doing right now without that expense or investment. At the same time, it's like I have a dream and I don't know if I can get there with what I'm doing right now. Like, getting the studio, getting a little tiny space. I'm not talking about like, big space. Less than 1,000 square feet is fine. Like, probably even like 500 square feet is fine for me. To have a big desk, some sewing machine, good lighting, some shelves, blah 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 blah. But even that is little too much for me to not even commit. So there are a lot of artist people, there are a lot of craftsmen who has a beautiful, beautiful office, and I just wonder how they do that. Well, that leads to the question, like, what am I missing? What am I missing? If there's anything I should do or anything I can do to make it happen, I probably should do that. If they have investors, that'd be great, but I don't have the investor or invest. I have a good friend who keeps supporting my activities, but she's not in Pennsylvania, so it is very interesting. It is very interesting to see the other craftsmen or artist, like somebody who makes stuff with their own hand, not like designer who makes the things. I mean, somebody who does the hand crafting. I don't know if I know anybody who owns or who has the studio for that in person, but I see many of those, so I'm kind of wondering what is the difference. Okay. It's quite early, but it's like almost 30 minutes, so I will go off after this much stitching. When I don't have that many topics to talk about, I'll probably make it short. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. Oh, there was a Japanese entrance exam test, so-called Senta exam. I did a horrible job when well, not a horrible job. English was not my best subject to get a point on the entrance exam, so I wasn't that great. But after studying in the US for 4 years and living here for 6 years, I took it again. I was okay. I wish I were the high school student with this brain right now, so I probably could go to better universities I could think of. But life is not that easy, huh? Alright, let me show you what I accomplished in 30 minutes. It's very, very small, but I'll show you how much I accomplished in 30 minutes. So, in the beginning of this live streaming, I probably show you here, like this. So this is the third step, and there's nothing wrong with this. But if I complete this one, like, it's gonna be like this, and I think it feels more, how can I say, satisfied, completed. This is the pattern called Asanohan. This is something I like a lot. Okay, I will keep doing this next week as well, and I'll probably see you all. I hope I can do it in English again. Alright, have a good day. ありがとうございました。ちょっと、なんていうのかな。交通量もそれほど多くないので、今日はちょっと一回これで終わろうかなと思います。ありがとうございました。Thank you so much for the comments. Thank you so much for that, Lily-san. Alright, I will see you next Tuesday. Have a good weekend. Bye bye.